everyone over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, it's time for Season 2 of our F1 2019 career. You guys know we ended off Season 1 on a massive high. But guys, look at the craziness! Sebastian Vettel has gone back to Red Bull, replacing Max Verstappen, who has taken Sebastian Vettel's championship-winning car. What just happened? Absolute madness! Verstappen to Ferrari replacing Vettel, Vettel to Red Bull replacing Verstappen. It's crazy! I don't even care about the other two. Lando Norris has gone to Williams to replace Kubica, and Lance Stroll has gone to McLaren to replace Norris. I don't care about those two. Vettel to Red Bull, Verstappen to Ferrari. Red Bull, Vettel has got back to his roots, and guys, that's got to deserve your like. Sebastian Vettel has gone back to Red Bull. Oh my soul, take 2 seconds and drop the like down below. You know you want to, you know you want to. Guys, sorry I forgot to zoom in on this shot. But starting off Season 2, Mercedes are still the car to beat with Ferrari and P2, Red Bull close behind. Williams are now the 4th best car with ourselves right behind them in 5th. Racing Point 6th, Alfa Romeo 7th, McLaren 8th, Renault in 9th, and Toro Rosso in 10th. Now before we get on, guys, just keep it on the screen for all the action that unfolded in practice. I've got to tell you guys, even though that looks quite big, like the gap, let's say, between myself and Mercedes, reason I'm telling you guys that, you know I want to fight for the championship this season. Yeah, the gap looks large, it's not that large. Trust me, it's not as large as you think. This car was highly competitive throughout practice. We were actually quite good ahead of Williams. Not like they were competitive, don't get me wrong, especially with Lando Norris now driving for them. But we were still ahead. Like Grosjean, I don't know what Grosjean was doing, but I was consistently ahead of them and both the Red Bulls. So yeah, I was really looking forward to this opening round here in Melbourne, Australia, for the Australian Grand Prix. Oh my soul, you guys see me just overcooking it in practice 1. This I think was in practice 2. Yeah, this was quite bad. Yeah. Myself and Charles Leclerc had a little bit of a moment in turn 1. And yeah, it did not end good, as you guys see right there. Yeah, big crash for myself and Charles Leclerc. Ending off practice 1, not the way you would like to finish a practice session, but we had to retire, myself and Charles. And yeah, not something I'm proud of, but guys, I'm hyped for this race. I am hyped for this season. I can't explain it.
Had a mishap in practice. Will this affect qualifying or race day? Lucas was the fastest in that session. Were you expecting that? Well, thanks anyway.
Claire, get out of my face. Don't bother me with in practice. Guys, look at this. Sorry, both those crashes were actually in practice 1 now that I think about it. I can't get my head around this. Max Verstappen in a Ferrari. My head just doesn't want to grasp this. Look at this! And he's actually in P1 at this stage in practice 2. Guys, Verstappen had the pace. And look at this! The number 5 is on a Red Bull. On a Red Bull! What is happening? What is life? What is your life in F1 2019? This is absolutely nuts. Sebastian Vettel is back at Red Bull. Oh, and he just decides, well, I'm the defending champion. Let's just go ahead and take pole. Guys, look at that top 3. Sebastian Vettel for Red Bull, Lewis Hamilton for Mercedes, and Max Verstappen for Ferrari. Guys, my mind is more than blown. It's absolutely crazy. For this season, wanting to fight for the championship, this is going to be the hardest championship I've ever fought for with those top 3 teams. Oh my word. I will elaborate more on this, about this in qualifying, but please, enjoy qualifying.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
Jumping straight into qualifying, guys. Already done with Q1. We get our car easily into Q2. A mediocre lap, not one of my best, I have to say, but we're in. The cars out are Antonio Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen, Lance Stroll, Alexander Albon, and Danny Kvyat. Now, guys, just keep an eye on what's going on in qualifying. You guys can see everything on screen, my times, everything, so just keep an eye on the screen to know what's going on. But, guys, I have to talk about this. Let's just quickly elaborate on the top 4 teams. Now I know I'm 5th at this stage according to paper, but I'm going to tell you guys now, I had the pace over the Williams the entire weekend. I'm going to see myself as the 4th best team. Let's quickly go through this. For Mercedes, there's no change. You've got Mercedes who have the strongest car, with possibly the strongest AI being Lewis Hamilton, and Valtteri Bottas, who almost stole the championship from underneath Sebastian Vettel's nose back at Ferrari in Season 1. If you haven't watched Season 1, what are you doing? Go down below and go watch Season 1. Trust me, you're not going to be disappointed. Like, literally, trust me about that. Okay, so we've got Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas in Mercedes, both hungry for championship, both hungry for gold. Keep that in mind. You've got Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc at Ferrari. 2 upcoming talents who've got the pace of rockets in the car that won the championship the previous season. Max Verstappen basically swapped seats with Sebastian Vettel. Max has got the car that won the Season 1 World Championship. Then you go to Red Bull. You've got the previous world champion, now a 5-time world champion, Sebastian Vettel, partnered with Pierre Gasly, who at the end of the first season showed better pace than Max Verstappen in the same car. Then you go to our team. You've got myself and Roman Grosjean. Now Grosjean, the last time we saw Grosjean having pace was at Russia in Season 1, round 16 at the Sochi Autodrome. I don't know what happened to Grosjean, but he really needs to wake up if we want to take the constructors. But guys, my goal is to get at least the Drivers' Championship. But throwing Grosjean aside, it is going to be myself v Hamilton, v Bottas, v Charles Leclerc, v Max Verstappen, v Sebastian Vettel, v Pierre Gasly for this championship. That is nuts! That's nuts! That is, guys, it's literally, it's blowing my mind out of proportion. I've lost brain cells, I swear. How? Okay, sorry, I'm not supposed to swear. But I think I've lost brain cells, I'm not kidding. But I can't grasp my mind around those top 3 teams with the drivers they have, and now myself trying to chase them down. I thought Season 2 of F1 2018 career mode when I was in the Toro Rosso was going to be hard. This is going to be one humongous task, and it is not going to be for the faint-hearted. So guys, I'm going to have all your likes, all your subscriptions, all your sharing, everything you can possibly do to send luck my way. I'm going to need it as we round the final 2 corners in Q3. Where are we going to put this horse for the first race of Season 2 here at Melbourne, Australia? Open up DRS, heading down the home straight for the final time, and we cross the line and it's going to be B!
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top 3. Hamilton, Bottas and Max Verstappen. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Well done. That was a good qualifying performance.
Thank you, I believe that really was. Guys, Mercedes are looking as they are on it, but never count out Ferrari. We are ahead of both Red Bulls, so that can only be good news. This is going to be an astonishing opening round. Let's go, baby!
They say that even a second is an eternity in Formula One, so going 4 winter months with no racing at all has seemed a very long time indeed. We're back though in Melbourne, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy circuit with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake and a couple of good passing opportunities here as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into turns 1, 3 and 13. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Lucas Faber, O'Connor, Vettel, Gasly, Perez and Lando Norris. Butler, Russell, Kimi Raikkonen and Ricciardo, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Lance Stroll and Daniel Kvyat. Grosjean and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
That is the idea, and guys, I can't take a position less than P5. I have to finish ahead of one of those Ferraris or one of those Mercedes. Lucas Weber's in the mix. The 2 Red Bulls are lurking behind me. This is gonna be crazy. Guys, you have to jam with me on the formation lap. I have to have earned your subscribe by this time. We're not even in the race yet, but come on. Subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding the bell. And please, jam with me on the formation lap. here. The championship hunt starts now. 5 red lights and it's go, go, go for the Australian Grand Prix here at Melbourne. Guys, you can see the two Mercedes got an excellent start off of the front row. Guys, also just a quick note, this is after patch 1.15, so the AI don't have OP starts anymore for those of you that want to know. It is Lewis Hamilton leading the way from Valtteri Bottas in second, and the newbie at Ferrari, Max Verstappen in P3. We've gotten ourselves all the way up into P4, and we are tucked up right underneath the gearbox of Max Verstappen. Guys, this season, I'm really taking no prisoners. I have to be at the front fighting with these guys if I want any hopes of getting myself into this championship fight. I am not dropping Rich Energy Horse Racing. I want to take them to the top. So we will stay here until we bag a championship. Hopefully it's this season, but let's see what happens. You guys can see the AI are no longer so OP on the start. That is absolutely beautiful news. We dive up the inside of Charles Leclerc, the guy that we had massive contact with and a massive crash with in practice 1. But now we get ourselves into P4. Lucas Weber is in P6 right behind Charles Leclerc. And now you guys can see here we go into the corner. I tried to get my nose right underneath Max Verstappen, but guys, one thing that I can tell you, every single one of these top 6 drivers in the top 3 teams, Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes, they all want the World Championship. Vettel is the defending champion back at Red Bull, and the other 5, including myself, so the other 6, we want this all very bad. I know Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, who had a very terrible start to their first season, are hungry for a championship. We've got the newbie Max Verstappen at Ferrari, who's got to try and get it a double Ferrari championship in a row. This is going to be an absolutely crazy season, and there is so much that can happen. There is so much that is going to happen. This season, we have to get the subscriber count going, because trust me, you do not want to miss 1 second of this season. That is a guarantee. Heading on to the end of the first lap, guys, you guys can see the top 3 are pulling a bit away from me. Guys, the dirty air was killing me, I have to say. That's one thing that I still haven't figured out with this Rich Energy Horse Racing car. It is still very bad in dirty air, but still, now we've got the second Ferrari of Charles Leclerc right behind us. I think it's really bad of Ferrari to actually just have given Max the first driver's seat. I feel Charles did very well at the end of that first season, and Max should have been promoted to second driver, not already to first driver. But it's not the end of the world. You guys can see it's myself and Charles Leclerc going side by side. This first season has barely started, and the action is already popping off here in Australia. Charles goes for the move on the inside. He's late onto the brakes. Goes for the inside. He has a little bit of a lock-up on the inside right. And now we are on to this constant left-handed curve. As we go into the very far chicane, Charles goes around for a move around the outside. We are on the inside. We are side by side heading into the chicane. But we are going to defend our position at this stage. And we are still ahead of Charles Leclerc. Heading on to the end of lap 3. It is now time for the DRS that has been activated. And now we are going to have to defend literally for everything we are worth. Guys, like I said, no prisoners. I'm fighting for every position this season. The more I am on the podium, the more I am in the top 5, the better our championship chances are. But as you guys saw with the performance charts, we are still not at the peak of the Ferrari, the Red Bull, and especially not the Mercedes. So there's a lot of work that has to be done. With Charles Leclerc trying to pressure me, he is now under pressure from both the Racing Point cars, who also actually, if they keep developing like they are going to be with us at the top there. So guys, keep an eye on Racing Point and keep an eye on Williams come the end of the season. Trust me on that one. Also guys, now Charles Leclerc is back up our rear end. Guys, my car had no pace on these soft tires. The sooner I got onto those hard tires, the better. I'm going for a very cheeky one stop from softs onto hards. I know the hards are not going to have the pace of the mediums, but I know I will be able to stretch them all the way to the end, and I will not have to worry about a pit stop. A pit stop here at Melbourne really takes a lot of time, so to be on a slower tire is it's a better choice actually. It's just a better choice. And as you guys see, at this stage of the race, the Red Bulls are absolutely nowhere. Oh, what happened there? One of the Red Bulls ran into his teammate. Was that Sebastian who ran into Gasly, or Gasly into Vettel? Guys, this is Vettel running into the back of his teammate Pierre Gasly. This is not the re-debut that Vettel wanted at Red Bull. He has suffered major damage to the left front of his front wing, and Vettel has now put himself on one major back foot for this Grand Prix. This is not what Sebastian Vettel needed, and you guys can see already he's under pressure from Devin Butler, who is still in his seat at McLaren. And also, oh yeah, by the way guys, Lucas Weber is still at Racing Point and Devin Butler is still at McLaren after Devin's mid-first season move. You guys can see it's 3 wide, heading into the end of the first sector. Oh my word. Guys, this season, the battling, the field is so close and so bunched up together. I think it's going to be chaos this entire season when it comes to battling. I'm actually looking forward to the next circuit where we go to Bahrain. You guys know I don't have a good feeling about Bahrain ever, but with the battling that's going on through the field, I can't wait to see the battling within the midfield at Bahrain. Oh, that's a little bit of a corner cut from our side. But now, it is myself v Charles Leclerc. It is that Perez or Lucas Weber. It is the number 70. It is Lucas Weber with that immensely ugly helmet. In any case, you guys can see we defend our P4 from them both. And now Lucas goes around the outside of Charles Leclerc. Beautiful move from my former Formula 2 teammates. That was absolutely awesome stuff there from Lucas Weber. But as you guys see, I just couldn't hang it out on these soft tires anymore. I had to get myself some new rubber. The first 2 laps on these hard tires were going to be quality type of laps. I was going to push as hard as I could. The ERS was going to be pushed to the max because I knew if I gave Charles Leclerc the slightest chance, he was going to come out ahead of me after the pit stop phases. So guys, we are literally dead last. Okay, no, not dead last. I think it was a Renault with wing damage that was very far behind. Yes, it is.
Stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Thank you, Jeff. It is Kevin Magnus. If you guys can see, we come out just ahead of K-Mag. He is so far behind thanks to front wing damage, and now it is time to push this Haas car as hard as we possibly can to get ahead, well, to stay ahead of Charles Leclerc, both the Red Bulls and both the Racing Point cars. So this is going to be quite hectic. Guys, heading to the end of lap 9, you guys can see the debris from Sebastian Vettel's front wing is right there on track. It doesn't seem that Lewis Hamilton cares at this stage. He's just running over it. I am trying to avoid it with everything I've got because I know a puncture is the least I need now. If I get a puncture now, I will cry. You guys can see Lewis Hamilton is going on to the same strategy as I am, going for the one stop from softs onto hards. Here comes Valtteri Bottas, the runner-up for the championship last season. He is hungry, just like Hamilton, just like Verstappen, just like Leclerc. Guys, I can't tell you guys how close and how hardly fought this championship is going to be. You trust me, you want to be subscribed, you want to have that bell dinged, because if you miss an episode, it's on your own, man. It's your own fault. Oh my word. You guys see Valtteri coming to the pit stop. I think he threw on a set of medium tires, if I'm not mistaken. And this is Charles Leclerc, and I think actually Sergio Perez, or is it Lucas Weber? I'm not sure. Coming into the pit lane, Charles goes onto a set of medium tires. Okay, interesting choice from Charles. There is the Racing Point, as you guys can see there, where here comes Sebastian Vettel also into the pit lane, guys, but this is the important part. We jump onto our POV. We have to come out ahead of Charles Leclerc, and we do. Those 2 quali pace laps on these hard tires were just enough to keep us, okay, actually it was good enough to gap Charles Leclerc, so I'm very proud of myself. Guys, heading all the way onto the end of lap 12, this is Max Verstappen. Holy moly, how did he take those softs that long? Wow, GG's Max Verstappen. He comes into the pit lane. Guys, is he going to try a one-stop from softs onto mediums? I think that's what we're looking at, guys, because Max has strapped on the medium tires onto his brand new SF90 Ferrari. Oh my soul, there goes Lewis Hamilton on his hard tires. And now, here comes Valtteri, who's on the mediums. And here goes Max Verstappen. Guys, don't count out Max for this race. Charles, you can't count out because he's battling with me and I don't have the pace to stay with these front runners. But trust me, don't count out Max by any means. Guys, heading to the chicane. Oh my word, we left a wheel on the grass. It's oversteer mania. Charles Leclerc's got to go for the move. We just gave up P4 in this Grand Prix thanks to a stupid mistake. Guys, I just nipped the grass. Look at this slow motion. I nipped the grass. What have I done? Guys, look at that. My wheel just literally, it nips the grass, and that is enough to send the car into an oversteer moment. I had P4. Guys, I know defending the rest of this Grand Prix was going to be hard, but it was a better chance than what I just gave away. Oh my word, guys, we are now down to P5. That is the absolute least I will take. I don't care who catches up to me, but now it is time to go to the end. Let's run through the top 10, guys. It's Lewis Hamilton leading the way from his teammate Valtteri Bottas in second place. Third place, it is Max Verstappen in the Ferrari. Fourth place, it is now the second Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. After he got past me, guys, he just absolutely ran away with me. I couldn't keep up with him no matter how hard I tried. He's also, I think, on mediums. Yes, he is on mediums. So that is actually the reason why myself in P5, actually a very lonely P5 to say the least. Here comes Pierre Gasly in P6. Guys, I think I've got the pace to stay ahead of him. It is Kimi Räikkönen in P7. Ha, number 7, P7. Ha, that's ironic. And for fighting for P8, it is actually Lando Norris and Lucas Weber. So Norris has gotten himself back into this race. GG's Lando Norris, who's in P8 now. P9 is Lucas Weber, and P10 is the second Racing Point car of Sergio Perez. Guys, jumping onto the end of lap 17, this is actually the POV of my teammate Roman Grosjean, who is having an absolutely terrible Grand Prix at this stage. He is not good, looking like he's going to back me up this season if it keeps going like this. He's at the back of the field battling as hard as he can to get this car into the points. You guys can see there's Perez, who's the closest points running car. So if he has the pace that I have in my car, which he should have, he's supposed to get the points. He's supposed to get the points. But we will see. Guys, 3 wide! What? Oh my soul, guys, I know I'm a little bit late with the reaction there, but they were 3 wide for 2 very tight quarters there. That was absolutely epic. Guys, now we jump onto the POV of Sebastian Vettel, who is trying to get something going for himself after the terrible start he had to this race by breaking his front wing on the rear end of his teammate's car. He's trying to make a move on my teammate Roman Grosjean, going down the second DRS protection zone, and there we go. It is Sebastian Vettel up a position. Guys, I have no idea which position they are fighting for, but they want to catch Sergio Perez, who is in P10. In any case, guys, this is the 2 Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. Guys, I think Lewis is going to be very, very peed off with his team at this stage, because he is on the hard car. But oh, there's a massive lockup from Lewis Hamilton. He just gifted Valtteri Bottas the lead of this Grand Prix. Guys, what I wanted to say was Lewis Hamilton is going to be very peed off at his team, because they gave him the hard tires. They gave Valtteri the mediums, which he is running to the end of the Grand Prix. No more pit stops for this Grand Prix. For everybody, it's a simple one stop from softs to mediums or softs to hards, depending on how good your car is on tires. Oh my soul, Hamilton is going to probably come back at Valtteri come the end of the Grand Prix, but the middle part of his Grand Prix, like if it was a 2-stop, basically the middle stint of his Grand Prix is going to be a very, very big uphill battle. But guys, you can never ever count out Lewis Hamilton. That guy is just, he doesn't know the word give up, and he does not know, especially, ow, boy, that's a massive moment in the midfield, guys. Vettel battling with Perez, battling with my teammate. There's a McLaren of Lance Stroll in the middle of this. Oh no, it's actually Devin Butler. The Williams of George Russell. There's a Toro Rosso, I think, of Danny Kvyat. Oh my soul, guys, I'll jump back to the story about Lewis Hamilton in a second. What is going on here? Holy moly, that was absolutely awesome. And now Vettel has got the chance to finally make a move on my teammate and stay ahead of him, now that the other 4 cars have dropped back a bit after that immense fight. Sebastian Vettel goes for the move on the inside of my teammate Roman Grosjean as we head into the first corner. He gives my teammate the squeeze, and that is Sebastian Vettel. I think up into P10, guys. I'm not sure, but it can be P10. Oh my word. Guys, back to Lewis Hamilton. He does not give up. This guy, you can never count him out. He can be on the hard tires and the rest of the field can be on the softs. And trust me, he will still find a way to win. So as you guys can see here, the 2 Mercedes are renewing their end of the season 1 battling right here in Australia. It is now time for the championship to be renewed, and it's anybody's game now because everybody is sitting on a very round 0 points. So every man for himself. For Lewis Hamilton v Valtteri Bottas, they were side by side for basically a quarter of the lap there. And guys, heading on to the end of the very next lap, you guys can see Valtteri is right up behind his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Now heading down the main straight, and now Valtteri is going to try and mount a move on his teammate once again. He goes to the inside. You guys can see Max is there in the background. On the inside, it's a lockup. There's contact. Oh my soul! Valtteri Bottas has been spun. Guys, Valtteri locked up his tires heading into the first corner. He couldn't get the car turned. Contact from Lewis Hamilton, and it just spun Valtteri. Oh my word. Toto Wolff is going to be smashing his fist through the desk in the garage. Oh, that is not what you want between your teammates, between your 2 drivers. Contact at the very first race of the season. So guys, it's official. The Lewis Hamilton v Valtteri Bottas battle has commenced. Oh my word. Lewis could just have cost Valtteri a podium. I do not know how either one of them did not obtain any front wing damage. I don't know how they got away with that. But now I know, guys. Max Verstappen is in P2, and after that massive battle with Valtteri Bottas, Lewis's tires cannot look as good as they could have looked if he did not battle. And you've got guys have got Charles Leclerc chasing down from full P4. This is going to be an absolute nail biting on the edge of your seat ending to this Grand Prix. Guys, look at this. I can't see the lap there, it's just too tiny. It's Charles Leclerc right behind Lewis Hamilton. And guys, what did I tell you at the beginning of the episode, well, at the beginning of the race? Never count out Max Verstappen, never count out Ferrari. Heading into the top speed chicane, Max is on the inside, he gets the move down on Lewis Hamilton. That is P1 for Max Verstappen. Guys, is he going to do what he did when he went to Red Bull in reality? Guys, if you're not an F1 fan, here's a little bit of nostalgic news for you. Max Verstappen's very first Grand Prix for Red Bull, he won at Spain. Literally, he went from Toro Rosso to Red Bull, and the very first Grand Prix he drove for Red Bull, he won. Is he going to repeat that on the F1 2019 game for his first race at Scuderia Ferrari? Because he is leading the Australian Grand Prix, and guys, rounding the final 2 corners, Max Verstappen has done the double team swap victory. Max Verstappen takes the win for Scuderia Ferrari at the Australian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton will come through to take P2. And who's going to be in P3? Valtteri Bottas or Charles Leclerc? Guys, Bottas will just hang on to P3 with Charles Leclerc P4. Ferrari v Mercedes are still going. Guys, this season has started with a bang. We are going to come home for P5. It could have been P4, but I'm not going to complain. P5 is still an absolutely excellent result. We go on to the home straight for the final time, and it's P5 here in Melbourne, Australia.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the Drivers' Table. Max Verstappen now leads the Drivers' Championship. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
Roman Grosjean's my driver of the day. I don't think I've ever seen such a strong performance from him.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Let's have your take on it. That was an epic battle today. How do you think this will play out? Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash? Appreciate your time.
Guys, I'm out of breath. I'm so tired. Guys, the season could not have started off any more action-packed. Oh my soul, what have we just witnessed? Max Verstappen has taken the win for Scuderia Ferrari. Ferrari v Mercedes have been renewed. The battle has been renewed. Red Bull have got a lot of catching up to do after that terrible first round. We finished ahead of them just like we did, just like we ended season 1. Guys, this is absolutely nuts. Nothing? Okay, nobody's talking, so I don't have to keep quiet. Guys, that was absolutely epic. You guys, please, go down below, leave a like. If I haven't earned your like, I do not know what will earn your like for a season opener. It's going to take you 2 seconds. Hit the subscribe. Don't forget to ding the bell to have all your F1 2019 and Dirt 4 needs met. And to not miss an episode of the second season. It's going to be epic. But guys, that has been this episode. The season opener here at Australia. Absolute chaos. Absolute madness. Just a pure epic Australian Grand Prix. Guys, I'm speechless. I'm honestly speechless. I'm gonna go lie down, grab a drink of water, and rest after this. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Share with your friends. You know you want to. And I'll see y'all for round 2 in Bahrain. Cheers!